Let's talk about 5 different mistakes I see all the time on industrial sewing machines. Hey guys, it's David from Gigi's Fabric Shop, home of Juki Junkies and Junkies, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 user errors I see all the time when people purchase industrial sewing machines. And I want to go over these so that way you don't make the same mistake. Starting off with number 1, needles. This is the biggest issue that I see all the time when people buy industrial sewing machines because they don't take home sewing needles. Home sewing needles have a flat side on them, which pretty much only allows you to put the needle into the needle bar only at one direction to ensure that the scarf, which is that indentation of the needle, is facing the hook of the machine, so that way your stitches are complete. With industrial machines, they pretty much all have different needle systems as you jump up into different class industrial machines. So a standard sewing machine, a standard feed like the 8700 or the 9000Cs, those take a DBX1 needle system. Not only are the needle systems different, but the needle systems don't typically have any flat sides on them, which means when you insert it, you have to make sure the scarf of that needle is facing the right direction to make sure your stitches are complete and you don't have any skip stitches or any issues. So be sure to check out our full video on inserting needles on machines, how to figure out what needle system your industrial machine takes, so that way you are well trained on that. And also remember that there's also needle sizes and needle ranges that you have to keep up with that are not needle systems. Every machine is timed for a certain range of needle sizes. So for example, an 8700-7 or the 9000C FMS is timed for a needle range of 9 all the way up to a size 18. Some of the heavier machines like the 1541S are timed anywhere from like an 18 to a 24 size needle. So even though that needle system for these machines might go larger or smaller, you have to understand what needle range they can also take. So the needle system, the range, and which direction the scarf faces. It sounds super complicated, but I promise you it's really not that complicated. And whenever you buy a Juki Industrial, especially from JukiJunkies.com, we will always be there to help you out and answer any questions or confusions you might have on your needles. Number 2. Expecting your industrial machine to do all different types of sewing. If you didn't know this already, industrial machines are designed to be in factories where there's a different machine for different purposes of that project. So what that means is there's going to be a standard feed sewing machine like an 8700 or a 9000C that's made to sew from lightweight to medium weight materials, and then for those heavy straps and those thick materials, there's going to be a 1541S like this one that is a triple feed walking foot system, which is pretty much a walking foot with a needle that also moves as well. So every industrial is designed for different applications for different projects, and these machines are not really designed to do a little bit of everything. So you can't just drop down the feed dogs on them. You can't just put a walking foot on it like you can with your home sewing machine. Instead, they're really driven for one purpose of sewing. Now, don't let me steer you the wrong direction and say that you can't use it for different types of projects. You just have to understand what are those ranges that you can use them for, rather than just buying them and expecting it to be that home sewing machine that you have at home. They're very long lasting, they're industrials, they're heavy duty, but you can't just go to embroidery and then free motion quilting and then put a walking foot on them. They're very one purpose driven machines. They're really, really good at what they do, and that's why we start seeing a lot of home sewers buy them, especially when they have little businesses at home, because they do a phenomenal job and give you top quality stitches. So just keep that in mind. When you buy an industrial, it is so important to talk to somebody and figure out if you're buying the right industrial for your needs. Number 3, before you pull your material, you must complete the stitch. Now this applies more on the classic industrials that don't have all the automation built into them. So like your 1541s or your 8700s where you don't have needle positioning motors built into them. You must make sure that take-up lever is at the highest position before you pull your material out. If it's not all the way up, or it's like halfway up but your needle's just barely off your fabric, when you go to pull that fabric back, it's not a completed stitch and it will actually be really tough to pull that fabric back before you snip it. So be sure you complete your stitch and that take-up lever is all the way up by rotating that hand wheel a little bit more towards you until you see the stitch is complete, the take-up lever is up, before you pull that material away. Now keep in mind, that does not apply to your more modern industrials like this 9000C or when you add a needle positioner motor, as long as the needle is in the high up position, it should be programmed where that take-up lever is all the way up. Your stitch is complete, you can pull the material back. But that is a common mistake I see all the time. They go to pull the material, they're like, Dave, it's really tough, I can't pull it. You gotta make sure that take-up lever's all the way up. And that really applies for all sewing machines. Number 5, oiling your industrial machines. This is a common question. What type of oil should I be using? Do I need to maintain it? How often should I maintain it? And the biggest thing that I see people do wrong is they don't sew with their machines fast enough. So these industrial machines are made to be sewing in factories, like I've said 100 times, sewing very, very fast and moving along throughout the projects. As a home sewer, oftentimes we're sewing very slow and not very often. So it is important that if you're doing that, number 1, you want to make sure your reservoirs are filled up to the top. So if you have an oil reservoir or a pan, the level is all the way to the top, or at least above the lowest level. And you also want to make sure, if you're not sewing very frequent or very fast, that every now and then you run the machine at a high rate of speed. Just unthread the machine, lift up the foot so it's not rubbing against those feed dogs, and run at a high rate of speed to allow that oil pumping system to just pump that oil throughout the machine. Another little tip that you can use, especially on this 1541S, is if you're always sewing super slow, you can tilt the machine back and manually oil that hook in between your projects to make sure it's lubricated properly if you're not running it fast enough for the pumps to provide oil to those parts. And also remember that not all industrials lubricate everything from the reservoir that you fill up. You sometimes have to, on top of topping off those reservoirs, you have to manually oil some spots. So make sure you understand which machine you have purchased and where you should be oiling it and how often you should be oiling it. But typically most industrials, the maintenance is very, very easy. You just want to maintain that level of oil in the reservoir or the pan. And then also you really don't have to bring it in for servicing all the time, which we have a video on industrial maintenance. So be sure to check out that video. We'll link it in the description of this one. Well, just like that, we have now talked about 5 common mistakes that I see on industrial sewing machines. I'm curious to hear from you in the comment section below. What are some mistakes you experienced when you first got an industrial sewing machine? We hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like, and if you're ever interested in industrial sewing machines, be sure to call Juki Junkies. We'll be happy to figure out which machine is right for your needs and get you fitted in the proper machine to make sure you don't get the wrong industrial for what you're trying to do. Be sure to check out JukiJunkies.com, where we have tons of Juki parts, accessories, notions, and even fabrics, and we ship super, super fast. If you're ever passing by the Brandon, Florida area, stop on in to Gigi's Fabric Shop, where you can come on in and say hi and check out some of our Juki machines or Janome machines in person. We hope to see you on the next video. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.